Hello friends, it's Sherry. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're going to have a good day, and I'm here to do a little flip through of my sewing journal. I finally finished it. I finally decided it was finished. I had put it aside after I kind of finished it before I sewed in the signatures, and I wasn't sure if I was finished with it, and I let it sit there and just went through it, through it, and made sure it was done. And I decided it was done. It's done now. I added a few things, but not too many since the last, during the last week. Just a couple of things I added. But anyway, it was just super fun to make this journal. It's hardcover. It's got 1.5-inch spine, and it's got this cute little matching the little wraparound tie closure here matches the spine. And I've got a little goodie bag here. So let's go through the journal. So yeah, I just made this little tie closure out of some of the fabric that I used on the spine. I debated on whether I kind of wanted to attach the closure, but then I decided not to. It just, something told me not to attach it, so that's what I did. And when I have a piece of fabric that's not long enough to make make the closure long enough that I want, I do splice them together. So I usually use zigzag stitching because I feel like that's maybe the strongest of the stitching to put this together with. And I just overlap. I just overlap it. I make a little square, and sometimes I just did one stitch across, or sometimes I even do an X. Anyway, nice and strong, and I did that twice. This one I just did a little square. I felt like it was strong enough, I guess. So yeah, and I did cut the sides and the ends with on this one. Sometimes I just leave them where they're frayed, and I've torn them. This one I cut with pinking shears. So all of these edges are pinked, and they won't, or they shouldn't fray. So anyway, I started with an old hardback cover on this one. I've, I think, made all my sewing journals before as a one signature journal, maybe like with file folder in the middle as the support. So I wanted to try this, and I think it turned out really cute. So this is the cover. This is the pattern here, the original pattern. I added this blue rickrack here trim and two of my little 1-inch yo-yos there as a decoration. So, and I looks like, oh, see, what I did first was, in case you haven't seen any of these videos, I'll try to put the playlist below, link it below in my description box where I did all the videos I did on this. But first of all, this was an old book that I just kept the book cover from and had used the pages, so it was the perfect size for this pattern. So I first covered it with some pretty scrapbook papers, and then it's wrapped around here, and then I put the sewing pattern on. So it's not right on the book cover, it's actually on scrapbook paper, which is covering the book cover. And I added the pretty fabric on the spine. Here's my 3 signatures, you can see sewn in, and here's the scrapbook paper I used on the back. And I did add this measuring tape, pretty blue, kind of aqua colored measuring tape here as a little trim on the back. So let's open her up. On the inside, I have a little pocket here with a little bit of decorations. There's a little flower here, and it says Happy Day. And I've got one of the flower cards in here that I recently brought home from the thrift store. It opens up like this, and it's blank inside, so it can be a great journaling spot. And so, like I said, there's 3 signatures, and each signature cover is cardstock, double-sided scrapbook paper. So here I have a piece from the patterns I was using in this journal. It's just a little piece I cut off there and used as a decoration or a trim. And then over here, a pocket. And you can see how pretty the scrapbook paper is in case you didn't see any of the videos before. I used some very pretty scrapbook paper here. Pocket here that's sewn together, and a little bit of decoration here. I just do usually light decorating in my journal so that you have plenty of room to still decorate. Put whatever you want in here, photos, writing, mementos, if you want to do a little collaging, add your own tags and things. So anyway, this is a little tag I had made from some sewing pattern, and this little girl I cut out from a sewing pattern. Everything in here is original, ephemera, nothing printed. And I'll let you know the papers I use as I go through. But I use some pretty little lace here. It has blue flowers on it to match the blues. And I have a little bit of that rickrack like I used on the front cover right down here. So that came out really cute. We did that together on a video. And then here's some pretty scrapbook paper. That this was one-sided scrapbook paper, and I wanted to first of all cover up the white, but I also wanted to use some of this pattern paper and make it stronger because it's not super thin like tissue or anything, but it's not, you know, it is kind of thin. And this was old. This was a pretty old pattern, so I wanted to give it some strength. So I glued that together with this pretty scrapbook paper, and that gave both of them, covered up the white and gave this pattern paper more strength. And then here's a little pretty lace here on the edge. You know, pretty much all the laces and things like that that I add are, you know, from thrift stores. All my ledger papers and my graph papers, they're all from thrift stores. So here's a little button card here. This is one of those long, narrow ones. I like to use these on edges of pages. I think they make a super cute little trim, or, you know, just a decoration. So that's one of those from a thrift store. This is from a sewing book. I showed you the sewing book I took these out of during the videos as we were creating this journal. Some graph paper. And this is another page from a sewing book where I have added some eyelet trim here. And then some ledger. This is like typing paper, like kind of like onion skin, but it's really actually typing paper. And so you can see through it. See how you can see the pretty paper through there. So that's kind of, I like when you can see something really pretty through the see-through paper. And then some scrapbook paper, which was one-sided. And I added a pocket over here. This is a fabric pocket, and I added also a little ruffle here with the same fabric. And then here's another tag. I think we made this one together too, backed with, all my tags are usually backed with, you know, file folder sewn around. I've got some measuring tape there and some little decoration. Came out really cute, nice yellow lace. And then this pocket is decorated. The pocket is sewn on. I don't know if I already said that, but I decorated with a little snap card here. It's got all of its snaps. It was a perfect one that I found at a thrift store, and a couple little flowers there. Next page, I added this little, I was using a paper pack in this, you know, for some of the papers in this journal, and it had some of these pretty stickers. So I put one there to decorate this page, and it says, "Our Beautiful Life." It just went so well with these colors. And then here's the center of the signature, all the signatures. I put some pretty double-sided scrapbook paper. And on the strings, on all the strings, I put a button on each string. Of course, I had to do that because it's a sewing journal, right? And what I did was put a knot at the end of the string. So these can, I have them up in the middle, but these can slide down if you wanted to, like, have it near the end. So it can be wherever you want it. I just have it up in the middle right now. And I use the buttons to match the whatever page it's on. So like this has a green and a pink one. Of course, there's so many colors in these butterflies, but aren't they pretty? It looks like graph paper behind the butterflies in case you can't see that. And then all these pretty butterflies. And then so on this side, this is a little rickrack label that I use as a belly band. I've got one of my little 1/2 inch yo-yos right here. Isn't that adorable? I love those things. They're so cute. And then here I have a little, it's like a little envelope. Like you could glue it together as an envelope. Like say, here's a little flap. So you could glue this together. But it's just a little piece of ephemera that I made one time. And I thought it was pretty. And so you can put writing paper if you want to layer, or you can just glue this down somewhere as a tuck spot. I just left it so somebody could do what they wanted with it. It's got that pretty lace trim on it. So that's in there. So here's another fabric pocket, that same pocket. It's on the other side of this same scrapbook paper. As you know, with the matching ruffle, and I added this pretty flower trim here, sewn on. And then here's another little sewing tag here. You know, it's got some sewing here, a butterfly, which is 2-layered. So you can fluff it up if you want, like that. And then, you know, the pretty yellow lace and some measuring tape there. Oops, get back in there. So yeah, that's a little tab. Those little ruffles are like little tabs. And then this is that typing paper. So we're on the back half here of that second signature, the first signature. Here's that eyelet lace sewing machine, sewing book page, and the sewing pattern paper. And this is the back of the first signature. So here I have a little baby that was cut out from one of the patterns to decorate this pocket. And then a little card that we had made together, just a journaling card. And got a little flower there, a little label here to write on. And of course you can write on both sides. It's got the pretty red lines on it. So that is in there, nice size journaling card. So second signature, I have this measuring tape scrapbook paper with the blue, rickrack pocket over here, which is sewn together. And then I've got a little like a collage or cluster decoration here. It's got 2 pieces of fabric and this little like bobbin with some yarn wound around it, and it's all glued down there. A little, or a good size actually, journaling card here. So it's got plenty of room. I made this on one of my videos, but it's from some guest checks that I have that I glued one layer of it. It's a guest check that has 2 layers. They're in my shop if you need any, but they're from an Italian restaurant, so they have Italian decoration on the back. This is the front part of it, and it was thin, so I wanted to make it into a journaling card, so I glued it down on file folder. I used a little ticket as a tab here, and then I put a piece of ephemera on the back here as a pocket, so you can still write on here. You can write on here. This little tag is cut out from a children's book cover that I wanted to use. I didn't really want to make a journal out of it, but I wanted to do something out of it, so I just punched some of these tags. I have a punch that's that shape. And of course you got the pretty scrapbook paper there. Here is a little card, vintage card that I've glued on here, so you have room to write in there. And you could cover this up and write, or you could just write around it, or it's a cute little gift card. And I added a little flower right there, 2 layers. So it's 2 flowers that made a 2-layered flower there. We've got some of the pattern paper back here, where I used a hinge here in the middle to strengthen that and make sure that was strong. In the middle for sewing in on this signature. Yellow paper and pattern paper here. Oh, this is not pattern paper. This is from Sewing Book. Then I've got a nice kind of glassine type craft colored paper bag here. Decoration from the patterns I was using again with some, it's backed with some of that pretty, and I punched the corners with a punch to decorate the corners there, but that decorates the bag, and that's that. And then with this journaling card here that we made together, there's plenty of room to write on the back, and it's got a little tab here. This is a rickrack, and this is a pattern. This lady we cut out and put on her. We cut her out of a pattern. This was the back of the pattern. She was on the front of a pattern. Cut her out, put her there. We got a little clothing tag here sewn on as a tab. And then graph paper, sewing book paper. This is another snap card. I believe I got it at the thrift store, just like this round circle with all these snaps on it. And I decided to use it as a tab here on this page. That's ledger paper. Some pretty scrapbook paper here that I just sewed on a side pocket with a postcard. This is a little golden book postcard. Make something from nothing. Isn't that cute? He's crafting there. So I thought that was so cute. Appropriate for this journal. This is some of my blue dyed paper. This one I think was dyed with, this was food coloring. So here's the middle with this pretty paper. You've got this pretty green. It's got stripes going this way. I know sometimes you can't see all the patterns in the camera. And then right here, the buttons and the pretty butterflies. So these butterflies, I don't want you to, like, I wanted to point out that these are different. See, this is the same scrapbook paper pack, but see how these butterflies are? And these are also butterflies, but they're different butterflies. These are kind of look like they're backed with little doilies. So pretty. And here's the matching buttons here. Same as this, you know, with a little knot at the end. You can slide those around if you want. So, and then here's the side pocket again with a little journaling card I made out of a message pad piece. Backed it with for strength. I thought that was kind of cool. I never did that before. I usually just put these in without any backing, and I thought that was really fun to do, to back it with some file folder and make it really like a strong journaling card. Put a little tab over here, so that was fun. I really like doing that. I want to make some more of those. So ledger and sewing book page. This is graph, and the other side of the paper bag where I've decorated again with some scrapbook paper here. This is one with like the this first, oh no, it's the last signature. It's the last signature here with some measuring tape. See, these are colorful, and these are like light greens. So that's a piece of that, a scrap from that, and I used a flap from one of the patterns here to decorate this paper bag. And in here we have another little one of these type pattern journaling cards with a little girl we cut out from that pattern, and lace trim here, and then you can write on the back. And that's a nice big journaling card there, and there's plenty of room to put things in that paper bag. That paper bag opens up. So sewing book page with some trim, eyelet trim, yellow paper, scrapbook paper again. We're on the back half of the second signature. A journaling card. It's got writing space in the back, a pretty lace trim tab there, and this is a map decorated with a flower. This is a Tim Holtz flower there, and I added a pocket here with you know, it's the colorful, and it's sewn together here, the colorful measuring tape. So third signature, and we cut her out and put her here on this beginning of this signature page. And I used some of my decorative stitching here. I don't know if you can see it. I guess you probably can see it, but let me hold up a little close. See, it's just, I don't think I had used that one before, and I was kind of wanted to try it out, so I tried it out right there. I think it's really neat stitch on my sewing machine. So that was fun. And then on the other side is some pattern paper. You can see the ladies there. Simplicity pattern. A couple of tags. I just made this one in my Tag Tuesday this week with the wallpaper. And then this is another sewing one we did together with the this is a little Tim Holtz girl, and this is some pattern paper, that pretty blue lace with the flowers. It's white lace with blue flowers, rickrack, and a pretty blue little lace topper there. So those were in here, and I've got a little cluster here with some fabric and a yo-yo on the pocket. Scrapbook paper with some pattern paper, pink paper in this one, and another paper bag. Opens up nice, and I've got a pretty button card in there. Isn't that beautiful? Vintage. That's vintage from a thrift store that I picked up. I think these Lansing button cards are so pretty. They're decorated with flowers like that, and so really gorgeous. And then we've got sewing book page here with eyelet graph paper. Let's see, there's some sewing book page here. This is crochet, about crochet, and ledger, scrapbook paper. Here I did an uptuck, sewn on and decorated with some rickrack there. And then I have this was like a little note paper that someone sent me in Happy Mail, and it's so cute. It's little dresses, or like a dress with an over, coat. And then it's paper, you write on the back. So I thought that was appropriate to put that little dress in here for a writing spot, journaling spot in this sewing journal. We've got pretty pink lined paper here. This is the middle of the signature here. And this is some handmade paper that someone sent me in Happy Mail. I glued a doily down here as a decoration. I wanted to put a doily in here, but I kind of like to back the doilies with something because they're so thin. So I thought this was the perfect way to put a doily in here and have some strength. And then I put, to match, this is pink and white. So I put pink and white buttons on these strings. Oh, I didn't mention, but these signatures are all sewn in with a 5 pamphlet stitch. In a journal this size, if it's smaller, I'll do a 3, but if it's this is not big, but if it's something like this, 7, 8, 9 inches, I'll do a 5 pamphlet, and that, I just feel like that really gives it a lot of strength. So this is kind of a double pocket here. So in the back pocket, see how it's slanted? It's sewn on. So in the back pocket, I have a little game score sheet here. And these I found at a thrift store all by themselves. I don't think they were even in a game or anything. And this is a little card we made. I don't know if we made, oh, we didn't make this together. That's right. I had these ladies stashed in my sewing goodies. And I wanted to use them. When I saw them, I was like, oh, I haven't used those. And I cut them out and they're so cool. And so this is a drilling card. And I just put these cool ladies on there. Aren't they awesome? So yeah, that's in the front pocket here. And then this front pocket has a little, it keeps sticking there, but I put it in here a long time ago in case it's sticking. If somebody gets it, the glue is dry, just for some reason keeps sticking. But, I did it a long time ago. Anyway, it's a flip up here, so you can write here too. And of course you have all the writing room up there too. And on the little, pieces of ephemera. So you can see how pretty that paper is on the back. And so the back half of this last signature with the ledger, the sewing book, there's that crochet, so pretty. Graph paper, sewing, the paper bag. This paper bag has butterflies on it, so it kind of matches, the butterflies in here. So this is a little envelope that I had. It was a button. You know how you sometimes get extra buttons in an envelope. So I took it, and it was a little plain and kind of old and grungy, which is nice. But I decided to decorate it up a little bit. So I put these ladies. I found these ladies and put them on there on the front and distressed it. And then I put a little pattern piece here on the back too. This is all original, not copies or anything. Let's see, did I put anything in here? I did. Let's see what's in here. I don't remember. Oh, I put some butterflies in here to decorate with. That's right. Okay, good. I'm glad I put some. There's more in there. So you'll have to fish those out, whoever gets it. And that just was a little extra button envelope, and I thought that would be fun. And this is a little sewing kit. So again, the cover was a little plain, and I got it at a thrift store again, and it's like a little matchbook. So I decorated with some of the pretty scrapbook paper I was using, this cover, and this is the original right here, Miracle Match Mending Kit. And you can see it down here with a little, it says the same thing, or it says, what does it say? Something, mends any color. And there's a needle and thread there. So it's just a little matchbook with the sewing kit. It's original sewing kit, like never used and never opened. And here's a little bit of information there. So I thought that was super cute and wanted to use it in here. So I just decorated it to match the journal. Let's see now, where were we? Oh yeah, I think this was in here. So those two things are in that bag, paper bag. So back half of this second signature, pink paper, pattern paper on some pretty paper there. And this is the back cover of the third signature, and I made this little booklet. So this is some pretty cardstock here for the cover. The pages are sewn in, and I left the strings at the top here. And then made a little belly band out here on the front cover with a scrap, and added this little drilling card that was a piece of, I think this was from a sewing book. Yeah, this is from one of my sewing books. I thought those ladies were cute. And then it's just file folder on the back. So that is on the front cover here. And I thought they matched this. See the turquoisey, kind of aqua and turquoisey colors there. I thought they looked cute there under that belly band. And then you have several pages from my scraps, which is like ledger and graph, all writing papers, I think. Yeah, just graph, ledger, graph, ledger. Yeah, I was just using up some of the graph and ledger paper there. And so you've got some writing. And then you can decorate in here, put some pockets. You can make this into a little mini journal, whatever you want to do. And it's decorated with a little sticker here. It says, The Story. That is also the back of a pattern here with a little ruler. I thought that was fun. So that's there. I tried to use all the pieces of the patterns. And then here's the back pocket. Oh, I didn't show you the trim. So this is, the fabric from the outside here on the inside of the spine. And then I used this little trim here. Here's the pocket, decorated this. Flower, a lady from the pattern. And this says memory recorded. There's a little card in here that you can write on. Vintage card. I recently brought those home from the thrift store. Let me take that out for a second. I've got this paper on the inside of the front and back cover. And on this back cover here, I added, like, here's the measuring tape. I added some here too. I just thought that measuring tape was so pretty, that aqua color. I've never seen that before, and I found that, of course, at a thrift store, I believe. So I put that there. So that's the back. Let me show you the front again. See, that paper is here also. And then there's that trim. I forgot to show you that when we were starting. And I wanted to show you like all the views of, it's full, but you know, I controlled myself on the signatures. It's got a little, you know, a little bit of stuff in there. So if you take that out, it'll be a little less full. But I think it's a nice, beautiful, chunky journal. And you've got all this beauty here. This one piece here is the tag sticking out of something. Let's see, what did I put that tag in? It's in that paper bag, I think. No? Is it? Let me see. Let me go to it. Yeah, this is the tag here. So yeah, there's a tab that's sticking, that is attached to that little journal card there. So, but anyway, I love all the fluff and prettiness here. That's all eyelet trim. And then you've got the couple little tabs. And, you know, that's what it looks like. So let's go real quick. I'm running out of time, but I gave you your goodies in this. It's an actual, you know, old pattern envelope that I think did I cover this? See, here's the back of the pattern. This is the original. And I don't know if this is the original of the pattern or I covered it with a piece of sewing. I think I might have covered it with a piece of sewing, a sewing page. I made this a while ago, like probably a year ago or something like that. And then I decorated it. These little pieces are all added. It's sewn together here, here, and here. And then I decorated this little flap and everything with pieces. There's a couple different laces and trims here, all added. This little flower and a button. And there's lace here and lace here, and then piece of the pattern there. So let me show you what I got in here because, like I said, my time is running out. So that's a nice strong envelope. It's got couple layers here on the front at least, and sewn together. I sewed right here too with some pink thread to hold this and make sure this didn't come up, this paper that I put on the inside. Even though I glued it down, I sewed right there too with some pink thread. That's really pretty. You can see it here too, some pink thread. And then inside, as I was cleaning up, I just gathered up my goodies that I was working with and put them in here. So a piece of that blue rickrack, all these things I used, most of these things I think I used in the journal. So they're all scraps from the journal. Some of that fabric, you can divide that up and use it in tags or whatever, glue it on the pages. All the little bits of scrapbook papers here, all the pretty papers that I used in here. This is from one of the sewing books, scrap from that. So more pretty paper. There's a lot of pretty. I left you a lot of pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? These scrapbook papers are so pretty. But you can see there's a bunch of them. I put them all in here. There was an envelope here. I don't know why, but I guess I was going to use it in there, but I didn't. So I'm leaving it for you to decorate and use, right? There's a bunch of tissue in here. Let me just see. Let me put that with the other tissue. This is from a sewing book. This is from a sewing book. I guess I used that piece there. You know what? I think that was those little ladies. That one I made into a journaling card. And yeah, maybe you'll see it when whoever gets this. Here's all the tissue from the patterns I used. A bunch of tissue you can use and make some of your own goodies. I've got plenty of that, so I wasn't, I went ahead and put it all in here for you. And then all of the other pattern instructions. Very vintage. Oh, there's another tissue, but yeah, very vintage and lots of little graphics on there. Even there's the little girls, the babies. That would be a great journaling card right there. So you can have lots of fun with these pieces. I had to fold them up like this in order to fit them into the envelope because that envelope, when I made it, I cut it on the top just a tiny bit to I don't know, I don't remember why exactly. Maybe the top was tattered or something, or had writing on it. I don't remember, but it all fits down in there like that. So I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed this sewing journal, and I want to make some more. But now I'm going to finish up the bird journal, the little bird journal I'm working on. So that's my next thing to finish up. And I will get this in my Etsy shop, and so when you see this video, it will be in my Etsy shop. And so a link to that will be below. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. Tomorrow is Thrifty Thursday. Stay tuned for that. I have some goodies I would like to share with you, quite a few. And so thanks for watching today. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting.